Interview for today. Normally I do 5, 6, 7 at a time, but
Okay.
we'll get going with yours here. What's your name and what company do you work for?
My name is Jack Myers, and I'm the Associate Vice President of Information Technology at Wyeth.
Okay, great. Can you briefly describe your company?
My company is like any other large pharmaceutical company. Our job is to invent new drugs and new biologic methods to improve patient health and safety around the world. And as a pharmaceutical company, there's quite a lot of information that goes into all of our submissions to the FDA and, of course, our patient testing. So management of information and databases is a very keen sub-industry inside pharmaceutics.
Okay, great. How would you describe the IT job market today?
The IT job market today, I believe, is going through significant shifts. With the globalization of world markets, there's an awful lot of emphasis today on highly specialized skills, because any type of what I'll call commodity IT skill, quite frankly, are moving to markets where labor costs are less than they are here in the States. So therefore, what we look for are people who can come up with deep specialties and become experts. Those experts can be in many different fields of IT. They can be in project management and program management, very deep skills there using ITIL and other technologies. They can also be in infrastructure and in applications. So the best advice I would give would be to look for something that is unique, look for something that you can specialize in, as opposed to what I'll call commodity jobs.
Okay, great.
A lot of service jobs, for instance, are moving overseas.
Great.
Help desk operators, database administrators. We're looking for people that have something different and something unique.
So the more common jobs are sort of disappearing in terms of their need. They're seeming to be moved over, help desk, support, those kinds of things.
Yes.
Right, okay. How has the iSchool, Drexel, prepared previous employees who have worked at Wyeth?
Well, the interesting thing about students coming from Drexel is that their worldview seems broader. They actually come in not just knowing their own discipline, but they know a lot of informatics about information management in general, which is sort of a sister discipline to IT. And they come with an enthusiasm and kind of a spark, actually, that makes them quite an asset to our company.
Okay, that's great. What are the types of positions that you fill with alumni, Drexel alumni, or students from Drexel? What kinds of positions are there?
They have varied. We've had some great success in our quality and validation areas. And this is the control of documentation around IT processes and implementations. We've had some success in our architectural areas of the company. Groups that do architectural modeling of the infrastructure and applications, and especially application integrations. We've used Drexel students and co-ops quite effectively in our SAP, our Enterprise Resource Planning programs. We've used them in document management. And so we find quite a lot of them running the gamut, quite frankly, from documentation to testing to infrastructure to application development.
Okay, that's great. How have prior iSchool employees distinguished themselves?
What's been interesting to me is that most of the prior students from iSchool, their job doesn't end when the hours end. They'll go home, they'll do some reading about what we're teaching them on the job. They'll be involved, they'll read journals, they'll bring together new ideas. And I think that has been a unique distinction of iSchool students.
Okay, the last question I have is, you kind of touched on this already, so you may not need to hit it again, but what do you see happening to the IT job market? We know that these jobs are moving over, so you're looking for these deep specialized skills in your assets and your employees. What do you see happening in the IT market overall? Is there something else there that you might be able to touch on?
I would say look for some advanced certificates. Look to be Microsoft certified or Oracle certified, because what we're seeing is the consolidation of the players. So the big players, the IBMs, the HPs, the Oracles, the Microsofts. These are the Suns. These are the companies that are beginning to swallow up smaller companies. And a lot of the innovation is happening in smaller firms, which are being absorbed by the larger firms. So anyone who has some deep specialty in those areas of the major software players, it's also very advantageous. Because there's a lot of suite offerings where you can, for example, Oracle used to be a database company, now they're an identity management company on top of that. So if you can get an affiliation with a company like that, a large company, You can get a wide range of experience that way. And that's also very valuable in today's market.
That's great. You did it the perfect